What's going on, guys? ChillSFM here, taking a look at some more Silph battles in the Vanguard Cup. This time up against Zubzo. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but a very talented battler from India. I think currently number 9 in the world, maybe ended up, or number 9 in India rather, ended up number 6 in India last season. So a very talented battler. I am playing in the Emerald tier of the Asian Pacific server, so anybody I play is going to be very talented, but I do like to give a little bit of credentials to start the video. First of all, taking a look at the teams, I am running Lapras, Primeape, Frostlass, Shadow Zapdos, Noctowl, and Quagsire. My opponent is going to be running Regice, Primeape, Frostlass, Dragonair, Noctowl, and Milotic. So kind of a pseudo double dragon team. Does have Regice instead of Regirock, which we'd seen before. So very interesting picks and really a decently strong team. However, I do feel like I have the advantage going into this one. So moving over into PvPoke, we can take a look at how the teams are laid out. You can see Lapras there with 4 wins. Primeape there with 5 wins, and that's because I'm running close combat on Primeape. Primeape is kind of my secret weapon. In the one shield, the only thing that it's losing to is Frostlass, and we can actually take a look at this because it just straight up wins in the 2 shield. It's not gonna let me click on it. There we go. Straight up wins in the 2 shield. We end up with 38 HP remaining when Frostlass goes down. So Primeape has play against the entire team right here. Even going on further down the line, Frostlass fairly neutral, right? My Frostlass that I'd like to run has low attack, so it's probably not going to win the mirror. So really, we only win against Noctowl and Primeape. Shadow Zapdos has a lot of wins here too, though. Wants to avoid Dragonair and of course the Regice. Noctowl not as strong in this lineup, but Quagsire again 4 wins. So again, I like to also look at it in the matrix view. So here's what it looks like in the matrix. We can zoom in just a little bit. What is going on? Lapras, why is Lapras a 2 and 4 here? I'm not sure why Lapras is 2 and 4 right there. But regardless, Primeape looking very strong. Shadow Zapdos looking very strong. Even though Quagsire does go 4 and 2, it has a negative battle rating, so it does get kind of stomped on by Noctowl and Milotic, despite the fact that it has Stone Edge for Noctowl. Milotic's just so bulky. Anyways, let's go ahead and jump on into some of these battles. Let's get it going. All right, looking at battle number 1, I'm leading Shadow Zapdos, and we catch the Milotic on the lead. Beautiful. Interestingly enough, I'd done some practice with my captain the night before these battles, and this is the exact team that my captain led with first. So I was prepared for the Frostlass swap in. I actually lost to my captain when my captain was running this. So I was watching for that Frostlass swap in, and I wanted to come in with my Lapras as quickly as possible. Now I know Frostlass can fight back. 2 Shadow Balls are lethal, so I am going to go ahead and shield up the first Shadow Ball. Going to throw the Silph immediately, knowing that they're going to be able to get to another Shadow Ball if I try to throw on proper timing. I'd rather have health on my Lapras. We do grab the shield back right there, which is beautiful. At this point, I can actually eat this Shadow Ball. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and no shield. We really want shields for Zapdos, and even I have Primeape in the back. Both of them really need a shield. So going to throw one more Ice Shard, throw the Silph. We'll see if they want to give up the second shield right here. My opponent is going to let this go. Now this is where it gets interesting. Milotic comes in. If Milotic farms down, it can really threaten the Zapdos. So I do pivot back into Zapdos, knowing there is likely a Dragonair in the back. And that's perfectly fine because we're going to be able to get to these drill pegs very quickly. 2 of them are lethal. I mean, the first one puts them almost into the red. And look at that. We're already at the second one. They're forced to throw this body slam as quickly as they get it. And I'm going to go ahead and let this go because I know I can come in with Primeape, farm this down, and then I will be the one with the energy lead versus the Milotic. So we wait out the switch clock in case I need to make a catch later on in the game. I'm going to farm down. And this is where having close combat is so key. Because if I'm just running Night Slash, I need 2 Night Slashes to connect. Since I'm running close combat, all I need is 1 move to connect. So we're going to go ahead and throw up the shield against this Silph. I'm going to throw 1 counter, and then we're just going to go for the close combat. I figured they're going to expect the Night Slash and no shield in case I get the boost. They actually do throw up the shield. So great call by my opponent. Regardless, we're just 1 counter away. Next close combat is going to be enough to take out, and that's going to be GG's. Well played. All right, so I just led Shadow Zapdos. I don't want to lead it twice in a row. They're unlikely to lead the same Pokemon twice in a row, and it's going to be the Frostlass, which would have hardwalled Zapdos. Now remember, Primeape can win against Frostlass in the 2s, and only in the 2s. So I build up some energy. I'm going to throw. We do win CMP, which is good to know. I think most Primeapes are going to win CMP against Frostlass. They let it go through. And so I just need to stick to my plan. I can throw the next Night Slash on a CMP again, which will threaten them, force them to throw up a shield if they want to get the next Avalanche off. And then I can just counter down and I'll have energy. They throw up a shield, and I try to get fancy with it. I thought they would just blind throw the Avalanche right there. But instead, we get hit by the Shadow Ball. And Lapras is so good. So good against most of the team. Now they're coming in with my Milotic. I'm not going to make it to 2 moves or a Surf and then a Skull Bash, so I have to go straight for the Skull Bash. This is an easy shield for my opponent. Meanwhile, they are just banking up tons and tons of energy. Oh, they actually let that go through, which I was surprised by. I'm still surprised by. But we fall just short of the Surf. So this Milotic is loaded with energy. I come in with the Zapdos. We get 1 Thunder Shock through. I have to eat at some point. It's unlikely they go for the big move, so I do eat. Man, that Surf just does so much. So I'm going to go for the Thunder Shock down, hoping that my Zapdos has good play against whatever's in the back. But of course, it's going to be the Dragonair again. So we're going to throw the Drill Peck, which would likely grab the shield, but my Primeape doesn't have a ton of energy on it. So I'm not going to be able to make it to the close combat before they make it to the Body Slam, not even the Night Slash. So they're going to be able to take game 2, and it's really just because I misplayed. I mean, if I just win the 2 shield there, I end up with Zapdos on the Milotic, and if they want to shield whatever I throw with the Zapdos, then that's fine. I'll still have Lapras, which just stomps on that Dragonair, and then they can fight back against the Milotic too. So. Alright, so I know their Dragonair is very strong. We've seen it in the back twice, and both times I could have won. So I'm actually expecting them to put Dragonair in the lead in the 3rd one. I was actually going back and forth if I wanted to lead Frostlass or Lapras. Frostlass loses to Dragonair in the 1s because the Dragon Breath damages us too much. The 1s and the 2s actually. So I decided to go with Lapras. And we'll go ahead and jump on into the next battle. We end up with Lapras into the Dragonair. Beautiful. We get the lead that we want to see, and we know that the Lapras is just very flexible. There's not a lot that wants to see the Lapras. So if they would have led their Primeape, maybe I would have been in trouble. I just didn't really expect them to lead their Primeape since I have so many good answers to Primeape. Yeah, and this is looking great. So Frostlass comes in. I throw up a shield. This is almost for sure going to be a Shadow Ball, and it is Shadow Ball. That's just too risky of a bait to take. I'm going to be able to throw the next Surf. I do throw on good timing this time, but since they had the 1-turn swap in, I think I was able to just outpace. So this should threaten a shield, and it does just that. I'm going to come in with Quag. And this is a little bit silly, but I know that the Lapras and Primeape core doesn't get broken by anything. So I think if both of them have energy, I just win. So I full on sack the Quagsire. I have 2 very much full health Pokemon here, and both are going to have energy. Nothing on his team wants to see these Pokemon with energy. So I come in with Primeape. We get the counter down, just a few counters away from a close combat if we need it. What are we going to see come in? Likely Dragonair, right? Yeah, Dragonair comes in. And I'm not playing around. I'm going to overfarm. I'm going to go straight for the close combat. Now, this was on CMP. I should have thrown 1 counter earlier, to be honest, and then I could have dipped out. Because now I'm going to have to give up a shield since they also shielded. But that's kind of fine. It's kind of fine because I can, again, just have some energy on my Primeape and then come into Lapras. I think the better play there would have been to build back up to a close combat and then swap, but it's perfectly fine. We're going to lure out the Milotic here. We know the Skull Bash does a ton. They have to land a Hyper Beam onto us. Which I don't have a shield. They're going to be able to Hyper Beam. But that means that they're going to be out of energy. And at that point, Primeape can come in and just farm down. And that's exactly what's going to happen. We just punch on down. We leave with the close combat. Dragonair is nowhere close to a move. So even if we weren't exactly there, we would have been all right. Close combat coming through. Going to be taking out the Dragonair. That's going to be GG's. So we end up going 2-1. Okay, so I can uncover the scores here. 2-1. Again, I think it could have been 3-0. A little bit of a misplay. Just not sticking to my plan in game 2. Always stick to your plan. Always stick to your plan. Like, there's a reason that you practice. There's a reason that you prep. Stick with the plan. Trust yourself. That's the biggest lesson I can give in today's video. If you enjoyed Factions content, make sure you leave a like. Hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is Chill FM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.